Mr. Purushottam Anand, lawyer specializing in law and technology. I welcome you both and good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, so Mr. Vikram and Anand, on January 18, we addressed this EIP 1559 launch of Polygon MATIC, the new upgrade. So we're going to start step by step, and we'll have our viewers to know this, that how this upgrade in Polygon MATIC can affect the MATIC's network in future. Okay, we'll start one by one. So in the first question, we have what about the volatility and market manipulations? The existing problem of blockchain, like high volatility and market manipulations. So how Polygon's new upgrade can ease it, the London Hardfork, as we refer to it, how it can ease it? Does it have any effect on this market volatility and market manipulations? Mr. Vikram. Vikram, am I audible to you?
There are audio problems.
Okay. Can you please check it first?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, no problem.
Continue.
Okay, so I was asking this this new upgrade, the London Hardfork, as we refer to it, will it ease the problems related to market volatility and market manipulations?
Well, this is a very good question. Actually, in this hard fork, first we have to understand why hard fork is needed. Some temporary changes is not enough to make the network viable. That's why a duplicate or a replica type of the network have to be implement in such a way that the old transaction or the fund or the users can use that platform without affecting and in the better way, like low gas fees and low transaction fees, as well as some scalability solution are also there. So I think these are important for this for the market. The volatility, yeah, and manipulations will be covered by the MATIC Polygon because they are providing this better solution, because they were concerned about the high gas fees, which was continuously bothering them in the last year, and the native token which is MATIC, they are put it that in the burning. So that was a leads for the the high price of the MATIC. Instead of the we are seeing continuously the MATIC price is continuously stable, seems like a stable, and which was not fluctuating, and now it will be like more will go more high than the previous stabilities like that. So I think they will control the manipulations somehow. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Purushottam, what is your take on this? Will the market volatility and manipulations will be eased by this new upgrade, EIP 1559, London Hardfork?
Yes. So in my understanding, it will certainly affect the volatility, but we need to understand, we need to go a little deeper and then understand how exactly does it interact. Okay. So when we say volatility, I think the upgrade which is introduced is more focused on taking care of the volatility in terms of the transaction fee, which we refer to as gas fee.
Yeah.
And therefore, it will not directly impact the volatility in the price of the token, which is more, MATIC token as we trade.
Yeah.
But it will certainly take care of the volatility that is there in the gas fee. That also is an extremely important topic because, like whenever any person or any project, say any DeFi project or any Web3 project uses any particular blockchain network, like say MATIC. So if I build any DeFi project on the MATIC network, that would mean that for every transaction that this DeFi protocol, this DeFi project has, it will have to pay certain gas fee. Because each transaction has to be put on that MATIC base protocol, base blockchain. Now the problem is that since this cost keeps varying all the time, and there is a volatility in the gas price, which is the price of putting any transaction on the blockchain, then it becomes very unpredictable. So for example, today the gas fee could be say $15 for putting a particular transaction. Tomorrow it goes to 25, or day after it could go to say 50 or something. That makes it very user unfriendly, so to say, because as a user, I don't want to use, like a blockchain where I cannot predict what is the cost that I'm going to pay to use that particular network.
Correct.
So that is a big issue. So the current upgrade actually aims to tackle this volatility in terms of the gas price. It does not even reduce, it does not promise that the gas prices will be reduced, which to be honest is anyways quite low on MATIC, compared to all other blockchains. But it just brings a predictability in terms of gas fee that will be payable by a user.
So do you mean to say like it's going to be the gas fees is going to be more volatile and less predictable?
No, it's going to be less volatile and more predictable.
More predictable. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, we'll move on to the next question, which is very important, like how Polygon solves existing problem of blockchain, like high gas fees and slow speed without sacrificing on security. Mr. Purushottam, you'll start.
Yeah, so MATIC actually is a very interesting solution, especially focused on scalability. So because as we all know, MATIC is a layer 2 solution.
Yeah.
So it is based on Ethereum. Ethereum, almost everyone accepts that there is a problem of firstly low transactions, per second. So it can handle only, I think, around 13, 14 transactions. And secondly, the biggest problem that everyone using Ethereum faces today is extremely high transaction cost, that is the gas fee. And actually, MATIC solves both these issues pretty well. And that's why I think MATIC is a extremely promising project. Firstly, because, the transaction speed is super high. And that is the reason there are so many, DeFi projects these days actually opting MATIC or Polygon even over Ethereum. So that is one aspect. Second aspect is in terms of security. Since this is a layer 2 solution based on the Ethereum, it enjoys the benefits of all the security that Ethereum protocol offers.
Okay.
Because the base blockchain still is Ethereum. So therefore, so it's like, say, imagine building a flyover, right? So if there is a congestion on a particular highway at a particular, place, then, what we generally do is we just build a flyover over that so that the traffic would be decongested.
Correct.
But at the same time, since the route is same and there are many features that this flyover will enjoy because it is built on the main highway that is there. Therefore, MATIC also enjoys most of the security features that the base blockchain that is Ethereum has. So it has security, plus it offers a scalability with very, very low transaction fee.
Okay. Mr. Vikram, so basically what this London Hardfork MATIC's London Hardfork brings to the table, I would just like to know what all things for our viewers. Can you just tell what all things it brings to the table after the upgrade?
Yeah, it's like Ethereum did this, the London Hardfork. Actually, why the London Hardfork is called by the London name, and basically there was a development team which they decided to hold an event in the London. That's why it's called the London. In the Polygon, there was a permanent changes on the we call it Mumbai testnet. That was tried earlier, and it was successfully completed. That's why they tried to deploy all those changes. I mean, network changes, or you can say upgrade on the mainnet. That's why it was makes the Polygon more viable and more scalable. Even what they tried to do, they put it something like 0.27% total matic supply will be the burn annually. So that was a main outcome. And another thing, the high gas fees, which was reduced by the when validator and delegators, they were trying to when they try to validate those transactions. So the basically what they get two type of the fees. So base fees and a priority fees. So the priority fees is only depend on the occasions according to the demands, and base price was unpredictable. That's why they try to put in such a way that base price reduces and the validators will get the only priority piece. So that was a main outcome of this. And scalability, of course, there was a more efficient, TPS value will be there, there, and these kind of the outcome came. And there are other outcomes also, like for the DApp users and for the developers. That was also interesting to know. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Purushottam, I would like to have your take on this. Like after this upgrade, what can we expect new in Polygon MATIC? Your voice is not coming.
Yes. I think it would be relevant here if we say just zoom out a bit and try to understand the context and the background, okay, which actually led to or kind of almost compelled MATIC to work on this upgrade, okay. And that will actually take us to first understand the EIP update, which was introduced by the Ethereum, because this is something that they are just trying to now implement from Ethereum. This EIP 5199 is actually Ethereum improvement protocol.
Yeah.
So Ethereum introduced it like say around August, September 2020. And after that, actually, MATIC analyzed the impact of this new protocol, this new EIP 5199, on the way that the Ethereum price transactions were reflecting. So if you follow the MATIC blog, you will see that, at least for a few months, they have been studying that once Ethereum tokens started getting burned, did it impact the price? What was the impact? Because of course, once the tokens are getting burned, that means burning here simply means that those tokens will not be in circulation now.
Correct.
They are sent to a wallet, from where you cannot retrieve. Therefore, that will decrease the supply of the token in the market. Yeah. So it will certainly have a deflationary effect. Because if the supply of the tokens, the number of tokens available for supply in the market reduces, then certainly there will be increase in the prices, right? That is like as per the economic policies, like the economic principles.
Yeah.
So what they did, they started testing, and I think I just saw on the blog, they have done a very detailed analysis of the prices, the gas fee that was there on Ethereum for September 2021. So they studied it and then tried to draw certain conclusions. And some of the interesting things that I remember how they tried to relate, and basically they tried to predict what would be the impact if we, implement this protocol on MATIC blockchain. And since as we were talking about how MATIC is built as a layer 2 solution to, this layer 1 Ethereum, they were also able to see certain trend that wherever the prices or the gas fee on Ethereum is really high, people certainly switch to MATIC, right? Because people also, these days people use MATIC as an alternate blockchain, especially if they are not able to afford the gas fee that Ethereum has. So if the prices go, if the gas fee goes up on the Ethereum, people start using MATIC. So MATIC had to anyways upgrade this also to keep, in tandem or keep aligned to the base layer, which is Ethereum protocol. So the Mumbai testnet, as Vikram was referring to, that was also introduced, I think, towards end of last year, maybe November or December. And then after that, they came up with a report, and then they, the community decided that now we will implement. Just one instance that I also want to refer before I come to what will be the impact is a recent event that happened, I think, on 7th or 8th of January, when you might have heard of this sunflower game that was built on Matic. So that is a very basic, say, agriculture farming game where the users were, farming sunflowers basically, and then they will get certain reward and so on. And once the game was launched, it was launched on Matic. Then there was a sudden increase in the number of transactions or the number of requests being sent to the Matic mainnet, and then the whole system crashed. So though the transaction fee, the gas fee is extremely low on Matic, the point that this experience actually highlights that you cannot even keep almost free or a minimum gas fee if you want security and if you want a sustainable protocol. So basically there has to be a balance between, the transaction fee or the gas fee that you keep plus the security, because, like for example, if there is zero fee, then there would be too many transaction requests that the network will receive. And that itself will create a network congestion that the system will not be able to tackle. So therefore, you will have to create a balance somewhere.
Yeah.
So in this background, now let's try to understand what is the balance that the new improvement introduces. So now what they are trying to do is that, the total fee, basically the total gas fee that will be payable. The initial method was that they had something called price auction. So whenever, like say, if you have a transaction, and once you create that transaction, now the issue is, which is the miner or the validator that will take your transaction in their block. Okay. So for this, there is a price auction.
Okay.
So basically, if you are paying high transaction cost, then of course, every miner will be, eager to take your transaction in their block and put that into the blockchain. But if the gas fee that you are offering is less, no one is going to pick your transaction. Okay, so it's a simple, again, is kind of demand supply, okay, between different stakeholders.
But again, that you just mentioned about that game, Sunflower, correct?
Yeah.
So you told me that when it was getting played,
7th Jan, like this month itself.
So basically, when more people congested on the network for the particular game and transaction now, so you said it crashed. So
correct.
What do you think after the London Hardfork, will the same thing happen or not?
No, it will not happen. It will not happen. That's a very, that is extremely interesting question actually. And so just allow me to maybe just take this a specific example, okay, and then let's try to understand what will happen.
Sure.
So in this sunflower example, like there are around 2 lakhs account which were added after the game was launched, as per some reports. I'm not sure about the authenticity. I just read in some news reports. Now, so if there are 2 lakhs new accounts being added, most of the people say that these are actually bots, and there is an overall problem of too many bots trying to play the games where some reward is involved.
Okay.
So because, for example, if there is a game, if you play that game, you get certain reward and NFT and so on, as we see today in this whole gaming industry, which is going on NFT and Web3. So now the problem is, it is probably possible to create a bot, and that bot will keep playing games, and then you will, keep reaping the benefits. And this problem increases on the blockchain networks where the transaction fee is extremely low.
Yeah.
Because if the transaction fee is high, then no one will just put a bot and then the bot will start spamming the network. But Matic has a really reasonable low fee. And since these gaming networks these days, they are giving so much incentive that all of this botting is probably possible. So without going into the veracity, whether it was actually created because of this botting or not, but just for the time being, assume that it actually happened because of certain bots or say some artificial, entities trying to play the game. Now, once the improvement or once the new protocol is introduced, what London Hardfork will do is it will keep the base fee at a certain level. Okay. So what was happening now is, if there is a price auction, then the total price auction will depend on how many people are there who are asking some miner to put their transaction in the block. So there may be situations or times where there is really low number of transactions waiting to be mined.
Okay.
And at that point of time, the transaction fee will be really low. And when transaction fee is really low, someone can suddenly start spamming the whole network.
So I guess it does make the market very competitive on the charges of gas fees or transaction fees, if I say. And can we see these kind of more hard forks in future in different networks?
Certainly, like Hardfork is something that I think it is almost inevitable, because there are so many issues that these,
Yeah, basically, if we
main...
see just like an upgrade, so everybody will definitely have to upgrade sometime.
Exactly, yeah. I think so. Depending on the problem that they face, they will keep coming with
So
these
do you
new
have any
Hardforks.
queue? Who's the next in the queue?
Not sure actually. I think the one that I'm really looking forward to is the Ethereum 2.0. That is going to be probably a game changer for sure.
Okay. Okay, moving on to the next question. Again, very simple question, but very interesting for our viewers. What will be the future of Matic looks like after the hard fork? Vikram, what do you see the future in Matic?
Yeah, actually, since when I following this Polygon, I mean, after implementation of the layer 2 solution, I was continuously tracking their Twitter account each day, each time, whenever they are integrating something, and they are doing something productive each time whenever I see. So these kind of the activities will build the trust among the angel investors or venture capitalists which are holding their funds in the Matic. So now they are implemented this hard fork, and it's a competitor. I can say that it will be the next Ethereum. So I think this phenomena will continuously grow in this era, as like if we compare about the market supply of the both Ethereum and the Matic, there are a lot of differences still, but the Matic is on the way that they will be, this will be create a lot of it will be give a lot of solution, even the layer 2 solution as well as Matic native token. Right now, the Matic have more than 300,000 addresses. They are approximately holding 74%. I mean, top 10 holders. They are angel investors. So the approximate supply is holded by the private investor or the corporate investors. So that they will be keep it, because the progress by the management is continuously they are doing. So I think a bright future for the investor, existing investor or newcomers will be there, and the exchanges listing as well as the Polygon, they are providing the solution for the gaming and other DeFi assets also. So I think this will be the continue. This will be grow. I can see the something bright figures. Actually, somebody is asking me like what will be the happen in 2024. I cannot give the figure, but yeah, there definitely something better is coming in,
Yeah,
we are
definitely
talking.
after upgrade, everybody is, it's like, it seems like if they have upgraded the system, they have
Yeah.
upgraded the network, the future might be bright. What's your prediction for future, Mr. Purushottam, for Polygon Matic?
I think I also find Matic very promising, and I truly believe that the project is one that we should certainly keep an eye on. The other disclaimer is that I do hold certain Matic tokens, so therefore my views may be, kind of biased. But with that, yes, but there are a few things that are, like in the pipeline for this year, and some of them are extremely promising. Like, firstly, Matic is really going to do well, at least in say DeFi projects, because DeFi is one sector where the transaction fee is quite important. The number of transactions are quite important, and Matic is, like a blockchain which actually can process so many transactions per second. So scalability is there. In Web3, Matic is having certain good, partnerships, and they are also, I think they recently announced one kind of the venture fund or some common pool through which they are investing in new protocols, now new projects. So I see a good future. I'm sure that they will do well this year.
Okay, so viewers, you have heard Mr. Purushottam, and he has already told you his own trade secret that he's holding the Matic. So the future is bright, I guess. So moving on to the next question. Okay, we have this question. Nearly 80% of investors focused only on the short-term price of token rather than understanding the project's true value. Can you tell us the motivation and benefits for investors to keep or hold? I'll start with, again, Purushottam will start with you.
I think this is a question that everyone working in the crypto should actually try to address. And why I say that is because it is extremely important that people who invest in crypto should understand what exactly are they getting into.
Correct.
And therefore, it is extremely important to kind of clarify that crypto is not something where you just come with 100 rupees and you seek to become you seek to maybe double it or make it grow 4 times within a month or two.
Correct.
Because this whole crypto industry is a lot more than a simple tool where you invest money and then double your money in a month. It's more about creating a technological revolution which will act as a technological infrastructure for the further projects that will be built on it. So it's like, say, like as internet, when internet started, it was started as something, which was a revolution. And subsequently, there are so many, applications, companies, projects, and everything being built on it now. So if you want to participate in that kind of technological revolution, you will have to firstly understand that this is not something which is there only to create money and become a millionaire overnight. All of that is happening in certain situations because of variety of reasons, because these are early times, there is volatility. People who entered the market really early were able to get certain benefits, but it certainly does not promise something similar for you. Therefore, you'll have to understand the project, read about what is the value addition, what is that particular token doing. And then, you'll have to have a framework in mind that probably this is some network this is a project which will work maybe in 2 year or 3 year, and be patient, understand the token and stay in the game. And probably that is why hodl is so important and so many people emphasize
hodling.
Correct, hodling.
I was about to say this. So basically, जो investors, simply वो investors, like if I take an example, very layman investors, जिसको ये है कि नहीं मुझे कोई रिसर्च नहीं करनी है, I just have to invest. Okay, उनके लिए ये simple term hodl, या फिर हम normal बात करें अगर hold करना, आप invest करके hold करें कि क्योंकि कोई भी किसी भी टोकन की मार्केट हमेशा गिरी नहीं रहती है. Correct.
सो आप बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हैं. बेसिकली अगर आपको लगता है कि इस प्रोजेक्ट में कुछ क्वालिटीज है, अगर कोई वैल्यू एडिशन है, इस प्रोजेक्ट में कोई वैल्यू एडिशन किया है, तब आप उस प्रोजेक्ट में जाइए, फिर आप वहां पे इन्वेस्ट कीजिए. आई थिंक व्हाट आई वुड लाइक टू कोट इज like the Warren Buffett saying, and that so many people keep repeating, that until you are sure that like if the market shuts tomorrow for 10 years, you will be happy with that share, don't buy it.
Correct.
So you may have a different timeline. You may decide that until the market if the market closes for 1 year, or you can say if the market closes for 2 years, will I be happy? But ask that question. You should not just buy a token because you think that because of a certain tweet the market is going up 25%, because in the long run you are going to lose your money if that is your strategy.
So okay, Vikram, I would like to ask you this. This may go a kind of out of track from this, but it is very important to discuss this also, as we are seeing from last 2 days that the market is depleting on a very pace. So what do you think? What influence this market crash? Actually, what is influencing this market crash? And should I buy, or like me, for take an example, should I buy this dip or wait for the time to let the market correct itself? Vikram?
Yeah, actually, as like Anand said, this is crypto is not like a game. You enter with 100 rupees and we started this. Actually, this is happening because the it was a peak time in the December month. I think November, December was properly a peak time where the crypto was at a high. Now at this moment, the market is correcting itself because at the peak there was some investors which was like e-commerce or corporate investors as like micro strategy, macro strategy, and other e-commerce was also entered in this. Now they are holding because of the influence of those the corporate, the crypto and Bitcoin was a little bit up, and other factor also take place that time. So now the market is correcting because many investors are invested the hard earned money. Now they are cannot wait to Bitcoin to go to the $100,000, and they are slowly they are liquidating it. And now the main thing, this is becoming a trend for a short term. The Bitcoin is crashed, and if the Bitcoin is crashed, the other altcoins will be the also depressed more than the Bitcoin. So I think right now it's not a right time, according to my opinion. It's not a right time to buy. Still we have to wait for the stability of the market. Right now it's a uh, still on the going on. So this is not a financial advice, by the way. It's according to my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, Purushottam, what's your take on this? The market crash day by day, we are seeing it. So, और कितना crash होगी ये, और या फिर is this just the correction, or should one person buy in this dip or not?
Okay, so again, without any financial or even legal advice, what I
Correct.
think is, this is a correction. Firstly, it's just that like correction is not same in crypto as in share market. Probably share market में 5% गिर जाने पे हम बोलते हैं करेक्शन हो गया प्राइस में. क्रिप्टो का करेक्शन भी 30-40-50% तक हो सकता है. तो और ये इसलिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि अगर आप क्रिप्टो में ये समझ के इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि शायद मेरा डबल और या ट्रिपल हो जाएगा, so if you are expecting and relying on a 300% increase, it is certainly possible and reasonable to be ready for a 40 or 50% down, right? Because the market cannot go in one direction.
Yeah.
So अगर 300% बढ़ने की उम्मीद आप रख सकते हैं, तो आप 40% कम होने के सिचुएशन के लिए भी आपको तैयार रहना पड़ेगा. And about current market, I think there are multiple factors actually which are working here. Firstly, because from regulatory perspective, in the US, we can see very heavy crackdown by all the authorities on crypto projects, be it say DeFi, or there are so many cryptocurrencies which are now allegedly in the category of security. There is some problem happening in Russia because Russia also is seeking to ban at least some form of cryptocurrency. So there are those global big forces. In addition to, I think also the pandemic and other fear which is being created, and impact of those fears we can see even on other markets. So it's not that share markets are doing extremely well and only the crypto market is crashing, because we could see some, like say, bearish trend even in the share market and other asset markets. So I think it's overall, so many factors coming together and influencing the prices.
Yeah.
Okay, my mic was off.
I want to
Okay.
add something in this.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, this correction is happening because right now people are selling. I can say that the panic selling is going on. So right now, this is a time to save your fund in USDT, or you can save in another way, because we don't know what will be the bottom, what for the corrections for the Bitcoin.
Correct.
Because right now the market is showing the directly proportional to the Bitcoin price. And I can see some cryptocurrencies are more than, I think, Luna and all these coins are below the 20% since 24 hours. So I can say that this is a correction time, and we have to admit it, because, and I wanted that because I want to buy at lowest price. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we are already addressing this huge dip. Okay. And as Purushottam said, there are many factors behind this, like you mentioned the Russia factor. Again, is this the only factor, or there are more factors like this because of which the dip is happening? Or like for our viewers, I just want you to add few more points about this dip so that they are more clearer about this fact, that should they buy or not. Because according to me, I am clear, but for them, we need to make it more simple.
या सबसे पहले
Sure, Vikram, continue.
Yeah. Okay. सबसे पहले ये चीज ध्यान रखना होगा हमें कि हम क्या बाय किया हुआ है और वो पोर्टफोलियो कितना डाउन है और कितना सिक्योर आपने कर लिया. सो बेस्ट थिंग ये एक फैक्टर है रशिया वाला. इसके अलावा कई और भी फैक्टर्स हैं, लाइक मार्केट करेक्शन होना था. ये पहले भी कयास लगाए जा रहे थे कि दिसंबर के बाद हो सकता है, मार्च अप्रैल तक मार्केट करेक्शन हो सकता है. और डे बाय डे जैसे ट्रेंड डीफाई का और एनएफटीज का आ रहा है, तो एक पोर्टफोलियो डाइवर्जेंस का भी है जो बिटकॉइन को क्रैशिंग के लिए मजबूर कर रहा है. तो वो एक फिनोमिना है कि अब जैसे अपने आप में क्रिप्टो करेंसी मार्केट है, एक अपने आप में बड़ा होता जा रहा है. तो बिटकॉइन की पॉपुलैरिटी घटने के बाद ये एक डोमिनेंस शिफ्टिंग हो रहा है. आई बिलीव दैट दिस विल बी स्टेबलाइज वेरी सून. बिटकॉइन है जो स्टेबलाइज हो जाएगा. बट अगर कोई बाय करना चाहता है, कोई क्रिप्टो अपने आप में एक रिसर्च कर लें फंडामेंटली, टेक्निकली, या किसी से हेल्प ले, तो भी आप उसके लिए 100% अश्योर हो कि आपने बाय किया है. तो ये एक चीज है, क्योंकि मार्केट में वॉलेटिलिटी इतनी ज्यादा है. एज लाइक आनंद सेड, दिस मार्केट इज हाईली वॉलेटाइल. अगर 40% का प्रॉफिट लेने की हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं, तो ये भी एक्सपेक्ट करें कि 40% हमें लॉस भी हो सकता है. तो इतना वॉलेटिलिटी में थोड़ा सा हमें केयरफुल बने रहना होता है.
But again, thank you, Vikram, for this clarity. But again, Purushottam, I would like to ask you, like, we are addressing the dip. That's okay. But for how long?
Yeah.
How long can we expect it to again dip and dip and dip?
I think क्योंकि एक दो फैक्टर्स मैंने पहले मेंशन करा था, तो इसलिए मैं एक दूसरे फैक्टर की तरफ जाना चाहता हूँ अब इस बार. और वो भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है जिसपे लोगों के अलग अलग थ्योरीज है, लेकिन वो फैक्टर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्योंकि अगर आप बिटकॉइन का या तो व्हाइट पेपर पढ़ो, या तो हमें पता है कि बिटकॉइन एक साइकिल में मूव करता है.
करेक्ट.
बिटकॉइन के साइकिल्स होते हैं अराउंड 4 इयर्स के. एंड वो जो साइकिल है वो इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि आफ्टर एवरी साइकिल द माइनिंग रिवॉर्ड दैट इज गिवन इज रिड्यूस्ड टू हाफ.
या
अब ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है प्राइस डिटर्मिनेशन के लिए, क्योंकि अगर माइनिंग रिवॉर्ड हाफ हो जाता है, इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर पहले एक ब्लॉक बनाने का 25 रुपए किसी माइनर को 25 बिटकॉइंस मिलते थे माइनर को, तो वो अब 4 साल के बाद 12.5 हो जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद 6.25 हो जाएगा. द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ दिस इज बिकॉज दिस इज द मेथड हाउ बिटकॉइन विल टेक केयर ऑफ डिफ्लेशन. क्योंकि अगर बढ़ता गया सप्लाई तो इन्फ्लेशनरी हो जाएगा, जैसे पैसे हो, जैसे फिएट मनी का वही सिचुएशन है. So if you keep that in mind, what happens is there is also a similar cycle in the price of Bitcoin. So you can always notice that, after 4 years there is certain correction, there is some, like say bearish trend, and then the market again gains. Okay. Now, if you look at the price trend, then in 2017, the big crash that we all know happened. And after 17, actually the 4 years was completed towards the end of 2021.
Okay.
So if you understand it in a very broad context, then it is possible that probably we are seeing that end of cycle, and therefore there would be some sustained time when the market will be at low. But now there are people who disagree with this, and there are people who say that because of huge adoption compared to 2017 market crash, this time the market got extended, and therefore the crash will not happen in December, which has happened now, but will rather extend, and probably the crash will happen in maybe March or April. But that we don't know. So from my side, I can say that if it is actually the crash because of that cycle, then probably we are going to see a longer, like flat line, or probably just sideways movement of around 10-15%, and that will continue for a few months. But if the other side is true, if the other side is right, and probably the market will crash due to the cycle subsequently in maybe March or April, then it should correct very soon, and then it should have at least one more rally before it actually crashes.
Okay. ओके मैं थोड़ा सा ध्यान अब एक कॉइन की तरफ लाना चाहता हूँ. आई डोंट नो, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉक अबाउट दिस राइट नाउ. एडा कार्डानो. So I want your input for this coin particularly. How is it going, and like what it can show us in future, because अभी बहुत कुछ दिन पहले ही ये बहुत ज्यादा रैली इसकी देखने को मिली है. So Purushottam, will start with you.
So I think like it had a good rally, but it also now went down in say last week or so.
Yeah.
In Indian rupee, I think even 2-3 days back it was at around 120, and then suddenly it dipped, and now it is below 100 if I'm not wrong. But overall, the project is there are 3-4 things which are coming up in the project, and I'm not sure if you guys follow this Coin Bureau, the guy, and he recently covered it last week, and he lined up some of the interesting things which are coming, which are to be launched this year on the protocol. So overall, I think it's a good project again. But again, I like to add the disclaimer: this is not any advice, and secondly, I do hold ADA tokens, so again, I may be biased.
So basically, इसकी rally काफी time बाद आई थी ADA की. मेरे what my perspective to ask this question is, after a very long time it rallied to some point, but again, just because of the whole market crash, it again crashed.
I think it rallied because they made few announcements during that time. If you see the time of rally, so basically based on those announcements, it did recover.
Yeah.
But in my understanding, because of the overall bearish trend in the market, the price of the token has come down.
Okay, and let's move on to a very basic Indian part of the market. I hope you must be getting it. The Indian government and the crypto regulation. Correct. It's just a basic question for our viewers to get to know about this, because see, sentiments are rising because of the market crash. We all know that, and including the regulation part in it. What do you see? What's your input in it? That what is the step Indian government will take now? They must be addressing all this and all, because they have to sometimes away. They have to like get into the bill, and they have to release it. They have to like do something for the crypto. Again, we are hearing their daily basis statements that they need more time for this regulation. They need to understand the market well for billing it properly. So Vikram, I will start with you. What's your take that what are the steps that Indian government will take for the crypto regulation now? Does this crash affect their opinions after this, or is like very much off track?
Well, a government, according to the previous statements, government seems like they want to be legal or regulate in such a way that they can outcome from all those challenges, and they are ready to legalize it. Now, at this point, who is the responsible for the losses? Nobody cares about it. So regulation is important at this moment, but I think the exit and entry have to be have to be under the taxation department. Like exchanges, they have all the data. They can good way that they can implement taxation, either if it's profit or if it's loss, it will be calculated in the balance sheets. Now, the another thing, the government is want to regulate it, then they have to be assured like how the liquidity will be provided to the every users or like that. I think the liquidity provided by the government will be the not easy, and the government don't want to take 100% guarantee for the every investment, because this is not a centralized system where the government can enter in the system without having any issues, because this is a decentralized system. That's
Correct,
why
correct.
it's a biggest challenge for the government, and government have to be proactive at this matter. I personally think that this government can do this thing in 2022, in this year, in the summer session. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think government have to be in such a have to implement all those things in the legal way, and we have to appreciate whatever the government is going to do. Either they are banning, or either they are regulating. If it's taxable, then we have to pay taxes happily for
Yeah.
our nation. Yeah.
So, okay, thank you, Vikram, for this insight. And Purushottam will ask another perspective of this question, just related to that only, this the Indian government regulation part only. Like, is this crash, the dip in the market? They must be monitoring it, correct? So, will it affect the timely decision, as Vikram just said, that in the summer session it might the bill might show up in the summer session. So this crash, after monitoring it, can the time be more increased more even after the summer or even next year?
That's a very interesting question actually. But like in my understanding, I don't think government will take a regulatory stand based on the peculiar movement in the pricing. I think that also because last time when the government was actually considering and discussing the bill, that was around November, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the prices, that was probably the all-time high that we saw in crypto.
Yeah.
So if the government actually did care a lot about the pricing, I'm sure they would have passed the bill in November, December, because the prices were all-time high, right? Everyone
Yeah.
was happy. Whoever invested at that point of time, at least they were in profit. And therefore, everyone would have certainly recommended the government, ये सबसे अच्छी चीज है, मैंने पैसे कमाए हैं, allow कर दो. लेकिन ये नहीं हुआ. Because government decisions, I don't think they can take these decisions based on 15% market गिर गया है या 20% market ऊपर बढ़ गया है. I think there are broader issues at stake here, and one of the most important issues actually is the issue of monetary control. This is an issue that is being highlighted by RBI repeatedly, because RBI thinks that once we allow cryptocurrencies, the RBI will not have control like that it has on the monetary policies, like say inflation, deflation, or the bank rates, or even the foreign exchange management and controls. So there are so many other policy issues that crypto actually highlights, and those are the major concerns. Or say, how will it interact with the stable coin if the RBI issues CBDC? So those are the issues that it will have to go into the depth and then take a stand. So I don't think it will get very much influenced by the current fluctuation in the prices. Just one thing that I want to add further is, since our budget session is coming, and there is a lot of discussion that probably there will at least be some provision with respect to the taxation of cryptocurrencies that might get introduced in the budget session. And though I see that possible and happening, but here I want to highlight one very important aspect about, firstly deciding the classification of cryptocurrencies in India. And though it is likely, and even I think that government will introduce some provision, some tax provision. I also shared my views, with Economic Times last week. And I was trying to highlight that though it looks like looks like easier route, it looks like an easy solution that government will just add few lines and say you'll have to pay tax at this %. But that should not actually be the approach, because the government must first sit down and define cryptocurrencies. There should be a legal character. Does the government want to treat it as security, as asset, as commodity, without deciding, without informing the citizens first that, okay, this is the way that this is the way that I see cryptocurrency. They can say, okay, I see cryptocurrency as security, or say as commodity, as asset. But till the time that legal characterization is done by the government, I don't think it would be proper to just introduce one provision and say, okay, deduct TDS at so and so percentage. But at the same time, I also think it's quite possible that government will at least introduce some provision on tax.
Okay. So thank you for your very important insights about the regulation part. And I guess we are
Thank
good
you.
for now. And we had this much only questions from the public as well. And okay, we are good to go. And before leaving, I would just suggest my viewers to stick their eyes on the news, daily updates. And as both our speakers mentioned about the dip and crash, and they have also suggested you that even if you have to buy, or even if you have to just sell it, so you can just be a part of the panic selling. So it's your take. They didn't give any financial advice related to that. And yes, the correction of the market is happening, and it can see more dip, or it can just stop and again rally, but it will take some time. So don't panic, and just be there. Stick to your seats and see to the regulation part as well, and be updated. So thank you for today. Thank you, Anand, Purushottam ji, and Vikram ji, for being a part of this session.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Anand ji.
See you in the other session.
See you in the next
Thank you,
session.
Vikram.
Very soon.
See you.
Yeah.